Hey everyone, are you a growth marketer? I hope you are, and I hope you're going to stick around to watch this video on copywriting for growth marketing. Now that we all have access to the same ad platforms, what's really going to set you apart, not just your tactics, but your copywriting. So today, let's talk about how you can do it effectively to drive conversions, but also time efficiently. Since pretty much every marketing initiative leverages copywriting, it's important to understand how to use it to drive growth. Let's start with the basic definition. Copywriting is any sort of language that you use for advertising. So this can be anything from Facebook ads to Twitter, LinkedIn, to your landing pages, call to action, emails, anything that you're using for advertising. And as a consumer yourself, you understand you're completely inundated with ads 24/7, and most consumers now are on high alert whenever they feel like they're being sold to. The ability to write copy that integrates into the platform and hits your viewer when and where it should is really difficult. So it's okay if you're still just learning. But if you're interested in getting better at it, you've come to the right place. The foundation of copywriting is good storytelling, but storytelling and copywriting are not mutually dependent. Storytelling is painting the picture, setting the scene, taking a user on a journey, which is really lovely, but copywriting has a very distinct purpose, and that is to drive user action. So if you're taking a user on a beautiful journey, but they're not actually taking the action at the end that you intended, it wasn't great copywriting. Thinking about merging the two is critical. You don't want to go on a long-winded story and not have the user take action at the end. Copywriting is definitely improved by the ability to tell a good story, but don't let it overtake the action that you need the user to take. Becoming a great copywriter takes practice, just like any other skill, but there are a few strategies and tactics that you can try to get better faster. Let's first set the tone of voice for your brand. Is it fun, witty, casual, silly, or is it very serious, insightful, and thoughtful? First, you need to determine how you want to talk to your users before you can write great copy. So once you set the tone, then you can understand what is the goal of your copy. And I have a great exercise for this. So firstly, we like to write out 10 to 15, if you can get there, problems that your customer might have. So if, for example, I was a direct-to-consumer e-commerce brand that sold hiking boots, and my customers were having a problem shopping at competitor X because their shipping times are too slow, I would say, problem, shipping times too slow from competitor X. Effect, boots don't come in time, customer misses hiking trip with friends. Solution, we offer overnight shipping, never miss out on great weather again. Let's try another one. Say your problem is poor quality boots from competitor X. Effect would be, boots don't last long enough, you're constantly replacing them, it's not efficient for time or money savings. So what is the solution? Our boots last forever. Less trips to the store, more trips to the mountain. You can see where we're going with this, and the more you can list out, the better, because by the time you get to 10 or 15, you already have 10 or 15 ads ready to deploy. Now let's talk about copywriting for different channels. Just like your creative or your visuals should vary by channel, so should your copy. As a user, you wouldn't write the same thing on Snapchat that you would on LinkedIn. So it seems obvious, but as a time-strapped marketer, sometimes you feel the urge to just copy and paste across all channels. I'm here to tell you, you really shouldn't do that. When only 1 or 2 out of your channels convert and 3 or 4 are left in the dust, you're gonna wish you spent that extra few minutes making sure that your copy was right for the specific channel that it was gonna live on. Just really consider what the intention is of the user on that channel and think about how you would want to be spoken to if you were them. Now that we know how and why to write good copy, let's take a look at a couple of examples of it done really well. And let's start with a channel that everybody knows and loves, Facebook. It's something that every growth marketer needs to be able to do. If you are not comfortable writing Facebook ads, this section is for you because it's very important that everyone can do this. So let's just take a look at a few examples, starting with PayPal. They do a great job here. In this ad, PayPal clearly recognizes the pain points customers are experiencing with other companies and solves them for them in 3 short sentences. Start taking payments in person, no setup costs or monthly fees, swipe, tap, or chip. Short and clear, a merchant reading this would know exactly what to expect from a PayPal card reader. So did you know that Google also advertises on Facebook? And not surprisingly, they do it really well. This ad is a great example of merging storytelling and copywriting. The call to action is still very clear and concise. Get your new domain today, but it's done in a clever and cheerful way. This next ad from Zendesk is one I come to again and again. It's an expert example of how you can use copywriting to drive conversions. It's clear, concise, and the user knows exactly what action to take. If I was an e-commerce vendor and I came across this ad, I would think, okay, what is an e-commerce business meant to do? Sell things. What does Zendesk help me do? Sell things. Now that we've taken a look at a few examples of copywriting for Facebook done pretty well, you might be thinking, that sounds a little overwhelming. I'm not really sure where to start. Well, guess what? There's a formula. It was made by Ad Espresso, and I personally really enjoy using it. It's ERERS, which stands for emotional, rational, social proof. It's a great formula to get your consumers thinking emotionally and rationally about your product. Let's look at this example here from Hootsuite, where they are using the formula perfectly. You'll notice in the headline, it's emotional, then rational, emotional, then rational, and then right at the bottom, they include social proof. What they've also done really well here is considered how their copy will mix and mingle with other elements of the ad. They're not only following the ERERS formula here, they are repeating their call to actions more than once. Build a social org of your own and watch the demo video. It's very clear what the call to action is here, and the user knows exactly what action they need to take. A quick reminder here that the human attention span is 8 seconds or less, so you get very limited amount of time to capture their interest, especially on a Facebook ad. You must be clear and concise and demonstrate that you understand their problem before they'll even start to trust you at all. Don't waste time in your ads explaining to your customers how great you are. They don't care. They really only care about what you can do for them. So if you aren't providing those solutions rapidly, or if you aren't providing those solutions quickly in your ads in an easy to understand format, they won't convert. Another important channel where you can leverage great copywriting is email. This offers a little more real estate than some of the other ads. So you might feel like, this is my opportunity to go on a long, monotonous thing. But you know what? Your mom probably doesn't even want to read that, so don't put it in your emails either. This is still somewhere where you need to be clear and concise and to the point. So let's take a look at a few examples of emails done really well. Squarespace taps right into their user's main concern. Is it hard to build a website? Apparently not as hard as you thought. And then they follow up with how-to guides and other great resources, which make this an amazing example of a reactivation email. Another email that I really love is this one here from Burrow. They are a direct-to-consumer furniture startup, and they get right to the point here. They're clearly well-researched in what questions their customers ask, and also what FAQs really drive conversion for them. So they've laid out this email in a really specific and strategic way where they map out all the questions from top to bottom and they answer them in a very clear and concise way. I think oftentimes witty or clever or funny copy gets the most attention, but more often than not, the copy that converts is clear, concise, and to the point. When you sit down to create ads that you're hoping will convert like crazy, just try to remember the things that we've covered in this video. The first one, write for the channel and understand how your copy will interact with the other elements of the ad. 2, tell a story, but don't let storytelling overtake the end goal of the ad. And 3, make sure you're providing value to your customers. Remember, it's sad, I know, but they don't care as much about you as they do about what you can do for them. So make sure you're providing clear, concise, and obvious value. If you manage to do all these things in all of your ads, I think you're well on your way to becoming a great copywriter. I hope this video was helpful for you and that you learned a few things. Thank you for watching. If you're a growth marketer interested in growing your skill set and learning more about these kinds of topics, make sure you check out our No Good blog. We're covering all sorts of things from e-commerce tactics to SaaS tactics to even the top women in growth marketing. We hope to see you there.